The Replication Error, a sci-fi audio series. Part 1. Dr. Aura Alexandra awoke to the sound of her own breathing. It was too loud, too close, as if her lungs were pressed directly against her ears. She tried to move, but her limbs responded with a strange, syrupy delay, like she was piloting herself from a few seconds in the past. A soft blue glow pulsed above her. A ceiling she recognized. The Real-Life Recovery Suite. Her heart lurched. She sat up too fast. The world smeared sideways, then snapped back into focus with a nauseating elasticity. Her hands looked normal at first glance. Pale, long-fingered, a faint burn scar on the left knuckle from the centrifuge fire last year. But the skin was too smooth, the scar too faint, the nails too perfect. A replication. Her breath hitched. No, 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 no. The door hissed open. A technician in a white coat stepped inside, tablet in hand, eyes widening when he saw her upright. Dr. Alexandra? You're awake already? That's earlier than projected. Aura swung her legs off the pod bed. Her feet touched the cold floor, and the shock of sensation made her gasp. Everything felt too sharp, too immediate, as if her nerves were brand new. How long? She demanded. 17 minutes since activation, the tech said. We were just about to begin cognitive calibration. 17 minutes. She'd been dead. No, not dead. She'd been copied. What happened in the lab? She asked. The tech hesitated. There was an incident with the CR9 culture. A containment breach. You were exposed to aerosolized. Am I dead? She snapped. He swallowed. Your vitals flatlined for 43 seconds. The system initiated emergency replication protocol. Standard procedure for high-risk personnel. Standard procedure. She'd helped design that procedure. Aura pushed past him, ignoring the way her legs trembled with each step. The hallway outside was sterile white, lined with biometric locks and soft floor lighting. She knew every corner of this facility. She'd worked here for 9 years, but now it felt alien. Dr. Alexandra, you should wait, the tech called after her. There are orientation steps. I don't need orientation, she said. I need to see my body. She meant the original, the one that had died, the one she had been. The tech hurried to keep up. The medical team is still assessing your previous instance. It's not stable. Aura froze. Previous instance? She repeated. The tech winced. Your original. She's alive. The world tilted. For a moment she thought she might faint, but the new body's cardiovascular system compensated instantly, flooding her with a stabilizing rush of oxygenated blood. Alive. Her original self was alive. That wasn't supposed to happen. Emergency replication was only triggered upon confirmed death. The system must have misread her vitals. Or the breach had interfered with the sensors. Or something worse. Take me to her, Aura said. Dr. Alexandra. Now. The tech hesitated, then nodded and led her down the corridor. The original. The medical bay was dim, lit only by the soft glow of diagnostic holos. A figure lay on the central bed, surrounded by a web of tubes and monitors. Aura approached slowly. The woman on the bed was her. Same face, same hair, same faint burn scar on the knuckle, except this one was deeper, older, imperfect. The real one. Her original self's eyes fluttered open. For a moment, neither spoke. Then the original whispered, "Oh God, they did it." Aura swallowed. You're alive. I shouldn't be. The original's voice was hoarse, strained. The system triggered too early. I felt it, like something tearing, like something being pulled out of me. Aura felt a cold pressure behind her ribs. What do you mean? The original looked at her with a strange mixture of fear and pity. You're not complete. The words hit harder than any physical blow. What? I can feel it, the original said. Something missing. Something I had that you don't. Aura's pulse spiked. That's impossible. The replication process is perfect. Neural mapping, Memory integration. No, the original whispered. It's not. Before Aura could respond, the door slid open and 2 security officers stepped inside. Dr. Alexandra, one said. Both of you, we need you to come with us. Aura stiffened. Why? Corporate directive. There's been a protocol deviation. We need to determine which instance is authorized to continue. The original laughed weakly. They're going to kill one of us. The officers didn't deny it. Aura stepped protectively between them and the bed. You can't just decommission a living person. You know the policy, the officer said. Only one instance can remain active. The other must be retired. Retired. A sanitized word for murder. Aura's mind raced. She needed time. She needed answers. She needed. The lights flickered. A shrill alarm blared through the facility. The officers exchanged a look. Containment breach in Sector 3. We need to move. Sector 3. The CR9 cultures. The same ones that had caused her accident. The officers moved toward her original self. Aura reacted without thinking. She grabbed the nearest instrument tray and hurled it at them. The distraction was enough. She lunged for the bed controls, disengaging the restraints. Move, she hissed. The original struggled upright, wincing in pain. I can't. My legs. Aura slung her arm around her shoulders. Then lean on me. The officers recovered quickly. Stop, one shouted. You are not authorized to. Aura hit the emergency blackout switch. The room plunged into darkness. She dragged her original toward the side exit, heart pounding, nerves screaming. The new body was strong, stronger than she remembered being. But the original was weak, barely able to stand. They stumbled into the maintenance corridor just as the lights flickered back on behind them. Where are we going? The original gasped. To find out what they did to us, Aura said. And why? Fragments. They made it 3 floors down before the original collapsed. Aura eased her to the ground. The maintenance tunnel was narrow, lined with pipes and humming conduits. The air smelled faintly of ozone and disinfectant. The original pressed a trembling hand to her temple. Something's wrong. I can't think straight. Aura knelt beside her. You were exposed to CR9. It might be affecting your neural pathways. No, the original whispered. It's not that. It's you. Aura froze. What about me? You feel hollow. The original's eyes were glassy, unfocused. Like a room with furniture missing. Like a sentence with words erased. Aura felt a chill crawl up her spine. I have all my memories, she said. Everything up to the accident. Memories aren't consciousness, the original murmured. They're just data. Something else didn't transfer. Aura shook her head. That's not how it works. But doubt gnawed at her. She did feel different. Not just physically, mentally. There was a faint emptiness she couldn't name. A subtle absence. Like a song missing a note she couldn't identify. The original grabbed her wrist suddenly, grip surprisingly strong. They've been doing this for years, she whispered. You know that, right? The emergency backups. The instant clones. But have you ever met one? Aura opened her mouth, then closed it. She hadn't. Not once. They don't survive, the original said. Not because the process fails. Because the corporation disposes of them. That's not possible, Aura said. But her voice lacked conviction. They're incomplete, the original said. Fragments. And fragments are dangerous. Aura's pulse hammered in her ears. Why dangerous? Because they're unpredictable. Because they're unstable. Because they're missing pieces of themselves. The original's eyes locked onto hers. Because they're missing pieces of you. Aura stood abruptly. We need to keep moving. She didn't want to hear more. Not yet. Not until she had proof. She helped the original to her feet again, and together they continued down the tunnel. The archive. The corporate archive was buried beneath 6 levels of biometric security and 2 layers of legal obfuscation. Aura had clearance for most of it. Her original self had been one of the lead researchers on the Replication project. But now she wasn't sure if that clearance still applied. They reached the access door. A retinal scanner blinked to life. Aura hesitated. "What if it doesn't recognize me?" she whispered. The original leaned against the wall, breathing hard. "Then we're already dead." Aura stepped forward and pressed her face to the scanner. A soft chime. Identity confirmed. Dr. Aura Alexandra. Active instance. The door slid open. Aura exhaled shakily. It worked. The original gave a bitter smile. "Of course it did. You're the shiny new model." Aura ignored the sting of the words and helped her inside. The archive was a cavernous room filled with data pillars, each one humming with encrypted corporate secrets. Aura navigated to the replication logs. "Help me sit," the original murmured. Aura eased her into a chair, then turned to the console. She entered her credentials. The screen flickered. Access granted. Replication records. A list of names appeared. Hundreds of them, each with timestamps. Activation logs. Termination logs. Aura scrolled. Her stomach twisted. Most instances lasted less than an hour. Some less than 10 minutes. All marked decommissioned. She opened one at random. Instance 14. Subject, Dr. K. Ralston activation. 3 hours 14 minutes and 22 seconds termination. 3 hours 26 minutes and 9 seconds reason. Cognitive instability. Fragmentation detected. Fragmentation. Her hands trembled. She opened another. Instance 22. Subject, Dr. K. Ralston activation. 4 hours 2 minutes and 11 seconds termination. 4 hours 2 minutes and 57 seconds reason. Incomplete consciousness transfer. Behavioral anomalies. Another. Instance 23. Subject, Dr. K. Ralston activation. 4 hours 3 minutes and 12 seconds termination. 4 hours 3 minutes and 13 seconds reason. Non-viable. Aura felt sick. The original spoke softly behind her. "Now you see." Aura turned. "This can't be real. The process is supposed to be perfect." "It never was," the original said. "We just didn't know." Aura shook her head. No, I would have seen this. I would have known." "You did," the original whispered. "You just don't remember." Aura froze. "What?" The original pointed weakly at the screen. "Search your own name." Aura hesitated. Then typed, "Alexandra Aura instances." The screen populated. Her breath caught. There were 3 entries. Instance 1, activation. 18 months ago termination. 18 months ago reason. Fragmentation detected. Instance 2, activation. 18 months ago termination. 18 months ago reason. Behavioral instability. Instance 3, activation. Today status. Active. Aura stared at the screen, unable to breathe. "I've been replicated before," she whispered. "Yes," the original said. "And they killed the others." Aura turned slowly to face her. "Why don't I remember?" "Because they wiped your memories," the original said. "Every time the process fails, they erase the evidence, including from the surviving instance." Aura felt the world closing in around her. "I'm not the first," she said. "I'm not even the second." "No," the original said softly. "You're the third." Aura's hands clenched into fists. "What was missing from them?" she asked. "What's missing from me?" The original's eyes were full of sorrow. "Pieces of your mind," she said. "Pieces of yourself. The process doesn't copy consciousness. It splits it. Every clone is born with a fragment missing." Aura felt something inside her crack. "And what fragment am I missing?" The original reached out and touched her hand. "You'll have to figure that out before they come for you." Footsteps. The lights dimmed. A low, rhythmic thud echoed through the archive. Footsteps. Heavy ones. Aura's blood ran cold. "They found us," she whispered. The original struggled to stand. "We need to go." Aura grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the emergency exit. The footsteps grew louder. Closer. Something metallic scraped against the floor. Aura didn't look back. They reached the exit door. Aura slammed her palm against the panel. Access denied. Instance conflict detected. No, she breathed. No, no. The original sagged against her. They locked you out. They don't want you leaving. The footsteps stopped behind them. Aura turned slowly. A figure stood at the far end of the archive. A man in a black corporate hazard suit. But his face was wrong. Too smooth, too symmetrical, too expressionless. A clone. Perfected one. Dr. Alexandra, it said in a flat, synthetic voice. You are to be decommissioned. Aura stepped in front of her original self. You'll have to go through me. The clone tilted its head. That is the intention. Took a step forward. Aura braced herself. Then the original whispered, Aura, wait. Aura glanced back. The original's eyes were wide with sudden clarity. I know what you're missing. Aura's breath caught. What? The original leaned close, her voice barely audible. Fear. Aura froze. The original continued. You're not afraid enough. That's why the others failed. That's why they were unstable. They didn't fear death. They didn't fear consequences. They didn't fear anything. And without fear, you can't survive. Aura felt the truth of it like a blade sliding between her ribs. She wasn't afraid. Not really. Not like she should be. The clone advanced. The original grabbed Aura's hand. Take my fear, she whispered. Take it back. Aura stared at her. What are you talking about? The original pressed her forehead to Aura's. And suddenly, Aura felt it. A rush of emotion so intense it stole her breath. Terror. Raw primal terror. The kind that lived in bones and blood and memory. The original gasped, collapsing. Aura staggered, clutching her chest. Her heart thundered. Her vision blurred. Her hands shook violently. She was afraid. Truly afraid. The clone lunged. Aura reacted on instinct, pure animal instinct. She grabbed a data pillar and swung it with all her strength. The impact shattered the clone's visor. It reeled backward, sparks erupting from its suit. Aura didn't stop. She swung again, and again, and again, until the clone collapsed in a heap of twitching metal and synthetic flesh. Silence. Aura stood panting, trembling, heart racing. Fear. She felt alive. She turned to her original self. The woman lay on the floor, pale and shaking. Aura, she whispered. You have to finish this. Aura knelt beside her. We will, she said. Together. The original shook her head weakly. No, you don't understand. I gave you my fear. I don't have enough left. Aura's breath caught. No, no, stay with me. The original smiled faintly. You're the one who has to survive. Not me. Her eyes fluttered. Aura, finish what we started. Then her body went still. Aura stared at her. Her original self. Dead. Truly dead this time. And she felt it. The fear. The grief. The rage. All of it. She stood slowly. The facility alarms blared overhead. Security would be coming. More clones. More officers. More attempts to decommission her. She looked down at her hands. Her perfect hands. Her incomplete hands. Not incomplete anymore. She whispered to the empty room. I am Aura Alexandra. Then she turned toward the exit. And ran. This is the end of part 1 of the audio sci-fi series, The Replication Error. Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode and subscribe for part 2 or other sci-fi short stories. Thanks for listening.